Hi, I'm Dan Bradbury. I'm the Chief Product Officer at UpGuard, and it's great to be talking to you again. Today, I'll run through some of the features we've added over the last 3 months and some that we're working on right now. In my last update, I mentioned a feature called IP address monitoring. This provides a central view of all the IP addresses being used by an organization. You can see detailed information about these IP addresses, including who owns them, where they're located, the IP address range they're part of, and the ASN they belong to. This lets you quickly identify things like which cloud providers an organization is using and where they're running their servers. We periodically scan through all ranges owned by an organization and tell you if any new activity is detected. This can be particularly useful where various teams in your organization can spin up new servers and you want to be notified when this happens to make sure they're configured securely. If you have a range of IP addresses assigned to your company but don't actually own them, you can add custom ranges to your profile. We'll scan these ranges just like any other and alert you whenever new activity is detected. Our IP address monitoring feature has been activated for our beta customers to allow us to do our final tuning before switching it on for everyone in the coming weeks. Another feature I mentioned in my last update was subsidiaries. Many of our customers are complex organizations. This includes governments with various agencies and departments and corporations with multiple subsidiaries. These customers typically want to be able to see their entire security posture in one place and also break it down to hone in on a particular part of it. Our subsidiaries feature lets you see all the entities that make up your organization in a single view and easily navigate between them. You can drill into a particular subsidiary and explore its risk profile. For a government, this might mean looking at the security posture of a particular department. We also provide a whole of organization view that lets you see how individual risks affect your entire portfolio. For instance, a global organization might want to better understand its exposure to a particular vulnerability across all its subsidiaries. As well as making it easy to navigate your own organizational structure, the subsidiaries feature gives you a clearer picture of the vendors you're monitoring by showing how they're structured too. The subsidiaries feature is now live in production. We've added a bunch of other features over the last quarter, including the ability to apply risk waivers to vendor risks, custom templates for when you create risk assessments or send emails through our platform, and much more. Now, before I tell you about the CyberResearch product we're launching today, let me run through a couple of the features the team is working on right now and that will be released over the coming quarter. I'll start with the questionnaire builder. The last few years have given us visibility into the various ways organizations assess their third parties. One of the conclusions we've reached is that wherever possible, organizations are better off using a standard set of questions. UpGuard provides a comprehensive set of security questionnaires that map to various security standards, such as ISO 27001 and NIST. These have been refined over years of working with vendors. We update them as legislative requirements change, and the questions are familiar to vendors who have completed an UpGuard assessment before. But there are still cases where, for a variety of reasons, it makes sense to use a custom questionnaire. Up until now, you've needed our help to do this. This quarter, we're launching a questionnaire builder that makes it simple for you to create questionnaires from within the platform. It supports all the same conditional logic as our built-in questionnaires, so you can set rules like only ask this question if they've answered yes to this and no to that. And you can define risks that are triggered when a certain response is selected. So if they say no to this question, trigger this risk. When you want to use your own set of questions, the questionnaire builder will make life a lot easier. The second feature we're working on is the ability to share information between accounts. Our new sharing feature enables related entities to see and even update assessments completed by other entities. So if one company has collected evidence or conducted a risk assessment on a vendor, another related company that's part of the same parent organization gets visibility of this. They can not only view it, but also use it as the basis of their own assessment. We've designed a flexible set of sharing rules to give you control over how the information is shared. We know how time-consuming it can be to assess vendors, so being able to leverage work done in other parts of your organization makes perfect sense. The next feature I want to talk about is role-based access. One of the requests we get pretty often is to provide more fine-grained control over what a user can do within our platform. This quarter, we're adding a number of new user permissions to better support this. The more fine-grained permissions we have, the harder it becomes to make sure each user has the right combination. So we're also adding support for role-based access. You'll be able to create roles and associate permissions with these, then grant users access to a role rather than a set of permissions. If you change a permission associated with a role, this will filter through to all the users with that role without you having to do anything else. And the final feature I want to mention is our new homepage called the Activity Stream. Our platform gives you access to so much information, and this can at times be a little overwhelming. The new Activity Stream gives you a central place to easily see what's important to you. It's highly configurable, so you can tune it to show the things you're most interested in. You can pin important items to keep them at the top of your list and easily get to the details behind any notification. So if we tell you that a vendor's score has recently dropped, it's easy to see exactly why. Or if you need to approve a risk waiver, you'll be able to do this with a single click. That gives you some insight into a few of the things we're working on at the moment. And to finish, I want to tell you about the brand new product we're launching today, CyberResearch. Very early on in UpGuard's history, we decided to establish our own CyberResearch team. We did this for a few reasons. First, we knew that to build the best platform we could, we needed deep cybersecurity expertise embedded in the company. The threat landscape is changing all the time, and we wanted people focused on this and feeding ideas back into the product. But second, we believed that providing access to this team could help our customers, as many of them struggle to access the right expertise. Over the years, our research team has proven themselves to be truly world-class. They've secured over 2 billion data leaks involving institutions such as Facebook, Amazon, the Republican National Committee, the Dow Jones, and Aggregate IQ. The team has been featured in the New York Times, Washington Post, Bloomberg, TechCrunch, and more. A couple of years ago, we started offering services that gave customers access to the team. We didn't really market these. Instead, we offered them when customers were interested, which gave us time to refine and mature them. They're now well and truly ready for a broader release. We've brought them together with a product called CyberResearch. It includes 2 main components: data leak detection and third-party risk management services. Let me talk you through them. I'll start with data leak detection. We've built a proprietary data leak search engine which scans every corner of the internet and identifies data that presents a risk for our customers. Think passwords, source code, customer records, anything that belongs to a customer but shouldn't be exposed to the internet. We're not just looking at our customers' own internet presence. We're scanning every website we can find, cloud storage buckets, source code repos like GitHub, the dark web, Pastebin, exposed databases like MongoDB, and many other sources. Our search engine will often find thousands of results for a customer and does a very good job of automatically classifying these to determine the ones that are potential problems. Our researchers review these potential data leaks and only notify our customers once they've confirmed it's a problem. We then work with the customer to help shut down the threat. As well as searching for data belonging to your organization, we're now offering third-party data leak detection. Even for organizations with thousands of vendors, there's often a smaller number where the impact of a cybersecurity incident could be catastrophic. These might be, for instance, vendors hosting your customer data. With third-party data leak detection, we run the same types of searches on your vendors that we run on your own organisation. We're not just looking for your data though, we're looking for any data being leaked by that vendor. When we find a leak, we notify you without giving you all the details and then work directly with your vendor to shut it down. We're extremely proud of our data leak detection capability. By finding leaked data on behalf of our customers, it lets them secure it before it falls into the wrong hands. Now I want to tell you about the other key component of CyberResearch, third-party risk management services. Managing third-party or vendor risk is still a relatively young discipline. We've been providing a platform to help our customers do this effectively for some time. And as I mentioned before, this has given us insight into the processes being used by hundreds of companies. We've worked with organisations right at the start of their journey, all the way through to thought leaders who have tuned their processes over years. But regardless of where an organisation is in terms of maturity, one of the common challenges is acquiring the expertise and resources to effectively manage their portfolio of vendors. So we set about building a capability to conduct third-party risk assessments on behalf of our customers. We didn't market this product, it didn't appear on our website, yet has proven incredibly popular, and we've now assessed many hundreds of vendors on behalf of our customers. So today we're officially launching our third-party risk management services. There are 3 different tiers of service that we provide. These are called evidence chasing, risk assessment, and risk remediation. Evidence chasing is where we prepare all the evidence you need to conduct a third-party risk assessment. This is often a time-consuming process, so getting UpGuard to take it on can really speed things up. We send security questionnaires to your vendor, chase them if they don't respond, review their answers and make sure they're clear and complete, get clarification where required, and review any other documentation provided by the vendor to make sure it's relevant and up to date. Once all the information is ready, we hand it over to you to conduct your assessment. If you want us to do more than just prepare the evidence, the second tier is where we write the risk assessment for you. We work with you to understand the relationship you have with the vendor. We review risks highlighted through questionnaire responses, as well as through our automated scanning. We also conduct a data leak search on the vendor. We then write a risk assessment which highlights the risks we think you should be aware of and publish it into your UpGuard account. This lets you focus on deciding how to handle the key risks, whether that's risk accepting them or working with the vendor to remediate them. And the third tier we offer is risk remediation, which encompasses end-to-end third-party risk management. In addition to preparing the evidence and writing a risk assessment, we also manage the remediation of risks with your vendors. Once we've published the risk assessment, we work with you to agree which risks need to be remediated and then work with the vendor to execute this remediation plan. We keep you updated as risks are remediated and escalate only when necessary. Offering these 3 different tiers gives you the flexibility to choose the level of help you want. On top of this, you can mix and match between assessing vendors yourself and getting us to do it for you. With data leak detection and third-party risk management services, our CyberResearch product combines the power of the UpGuard platform with our highly skilled research team to give you greater control over how you protect your data. I know I've covered a lot today, so to wrap things up, I'll quickly summarise. We've added some great new features over the past quarter. This includes IP address monitoring, our new subsidiaries feature, and vendor risk waivers. We're continuing to improve the platform. You'll soon be able to author your own questionnaires. We're introducing role-based access and working on a new homepage called the Activity Stream. And finally, today, we're launching CyberResearch, a new product for data leak detection and third-party risk management. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and please let us know if you have any questions.